Hello, happy Sunday, and welcome to our week ahead card pull. So we're going to be tapping in here for our collective energies for the week ahead, pulling some tarot cards and a special oracle card for some collective guidance for the week ahead. Now, this is my weekly card pull. I'm doing it here on Marco Polo in my September Empowerment Sharecast. So if you're viewing this on Marco Polo, thank you for being here. You are getting familiar with the drill here, where we are going to pull some cards for the week ahead, and then I'm going to roll into talking about Monday through Friday with our spread. If you're watching this on one of my social media platforms, this is a sample of the card pull that we will be digging into over on my free Empowerment Sharecast. And that is where we can connect more authentically and intimately off of social media grids. There is no ads or algorithms, and it's a place where I am able to also offer you a complimentary card pull for your week ahead personally. So if you would like a personal card pull, please feel free to drop me a note in the comments. You can send me a message, or if you again are on the Sharecast, you can simply quick reply after this Marco Polo message, and I will be pulling cards this week for everyone that would like one. Also, if you'd like to join us tonight, we do our Facebook Live over on the Majestic Living Designs Crystal Community Group. We will be going live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, where we'll take a look at the cards that are coming forward and do some live card pulls there as well. We are continuing here with the gorgeous deck we've been working with all month, the Raven's Dream Tarot by 𝓦𝓮𝓮𝓴, and I am feeling called today to add a special message from the Enchanted Map Oracle cards by 𝓒𝓵𝓵𝓵. So that's going to be a bonus message for us that we are going to pull in addition to our 5-card spread. So let's go ahead and start shuffling. This is going to be collective messages coming in for this week, Monday through Friday, which is going to take us from the 18th of September through the 22nd, which will actually be the day before the equinox. So depending on where you are in the world, you are gearing up for either the autumn or spring equinox. Tomorrow, I am planning to change my altar over to set up for the equinox and show you a little teaser here of the very special spread that I am offering. It's a special offer of in-depth personal reading I can do for you for the equinox of your choosing. I have an autumn equinox spread and also an equally illuminating spring equinox spread. So I'm going to be sharing more about those this week, but I'll give you a little preview at the spread. It's a very nice in-depth reading that takes you through a look back from the past season we're coming from, a look into the coming season and beyond. So they're some of my favorite readings I offer each year. So here we're shuffling up first a card for Monday, which represents an overview of our week ahead, sort of setting the tone for the energy this week collectively. As always, these messages are not beholden to the specific day they come up. They interact and work throughout the week. It's just a placeholder, as time is not linear. And these messages are for you in divine timing, where you are invited to take what resonates and leave the rest. So let's see what we have for Monday. Aha, what are you asking me for? You already know, says the High Priestess. Gorgeous card, beautiful, definitely on point. You will see the candle I have burning here is the Higher Self Connection candle. This is from Angelic Celestial Colors, along with this energy spray I've been using all week in my new moon readings. So perfect that the higher self energy comes forward as we have been focusing on connecting in with our wise self, bringing in that connection with that aspect of us who knows, tapping into our inner knowing and wisdom. So that is setting us off for the week. Tuesday is a potential blocker challenge that we may encounter this week. Last week was fascinating. I felt like we had so many resonances and they were all so vastly different. The way that Hierophant came forward for us as a blocker challenge was really remarkable because there were so many different aspects of it. And then lastly, we wrapped up the week with that sneaky 7 of Swords. Don't let anyone steal your joy, not even your sneaky self. So let's see what's coming up this week. Potential blocker challenge. The Wheel of Fortune. Yes. Okay. So the wheel turns, the seasons change. And with that comes all sorts of energy. And so we'll feel into what could be coming up there in the way of a block or a challenge. Wednesday's our midweek blessing. So let's see what we have coming up here for Wednesday. A midweek blessing. 3 of Pentacles. Beautiful. Love that energy of creation and collaboration. Thursday, how are we growing? How are we growing in this energy? Last week's challenge is this week's growth. How amazing is that? Yeah, so this was the super powerful. This is perfect. So when we talk about Thursday this week, we're going to be able to reflect on how this may have presented itself as a block or challenge for you last week that now brings through growth, expansion. What are we learning through the blocks and the challenges of that energy of 5? So perfect. Then we have finally for Friday, wrapping up our week, bringing in the caboose just before equinox. What do we have coming in there? Oh, 5. 5 of Wands. All right, that's my poop stirring card. We can't get enough of that. I feel like we're always talking about the poo-poo stirring. Okay, so interesting. So let's cap it off with the special message from the Enchanted map. And I'm feeling this because, as you see, and as we've been talking about the channeled words for September that I brought in alignment. And this month being an opportunity, this Virgo season being an opportunity for us to align ourselves with our highest and best paths now, right? And that is something that is ever evolving and changing. And so there's been this energy of the pathways and getting out the map. And again, this is the year of the Chariot. It's a 7 year. So it's all about being in the driver's seat and really looking at the direction that we are moving in. And sometimes that does involve pulling over, getting out the map, recalibrating, maybe choosing to take the scenic route. So many different analogies, driving car analogies I've been using all year long. I'm really feeling that energy coming back around here, reminding us about these pathways. So let's see what the Enchanted map is bringing forward for us collectively as an extra message for us. I love that we have that with the High Priestess, because I feel like, what does that wise part of us wish for us to know? What is there for us to know here with this Enchanted map energy? It's bonus message for us this week. See what we have coming forward. Look at that, home, and it is the card 27. Wow, that's a gorgeous card. All right, looking forward to delving into that one to see what's coming in there. And of course, I'm going to come back here with a photo of all our cards to speak a little bit about the rather quiet astrological week we have, but just touching on the things that have come to pass in the last few days and into this week. And then we will dive into our Monday through Friday. So feel free to hop in whenever is good for you. You can catch up on these throughout the week. You can go back day by day, whatever works for you. But thank you again for being here. If you have not yet checked out Marco Polo, please do look for the link in my bio. I also place it in my stories the day that I post these. Would love to have you over there. It's free, it's fun, and it's just a really special way for us to connect and go a little deeper beyond the scrolling. So thank you again for being here. Let's take a look and see what's coming up. Okay, so here is our week ahead spread with our collective messages gearing up to come through here. But before we dive in, I just like to kind of touch on any of the astrological and energetic happenings and kind of taking it back the last couple of days. My weekend took a different turn. I had every intention of coming in and pulling some cards for our weekend, but I had talked about with that beautiful healing energy of that Virgo new moon that there was also a lot of activity coming from Uranus as well as Neptune, and that the Uranus aspect was bringing in a little bit of surprises, unexpected things, that type of stuff. And I got my unexpected call on Thursday that I had some last minute house guests coming, family that came Thursday through Saturday. So it sort of kind of had me quickly pivoting and changing plans. And that had been bringing through for me some of these messages of being adaptable and flexible and able to move and choose according to very quickly changing conditions, right? The best laid plans. And it can be as simple as these unexpected visitors, delays, things coming up that, I'm finding this repetitive message coming through from the universe about our ability to stay nimble, to stay flexible. And in fact, as I moved through the new moon card pulls last week for the empowerment pack, a number of people got the assessing card, which was all about rising above our situation in a hot air balloon, sort of taking that big bird's eye view of an entire situation and in a very detached way, being able to, and the mantra says, I am enjoying moving and choosing, moving and choosing. And it's funny because I was just saying to someone who just got this card today, I got a little boxing reference of like bobbing and weaving. Like it's just sort of like offense, defense, just sort of being in this place of being able to, again, move and choose. So I love that, we have this Oracle Enchanted map card coming forward and that it is in fact home. And we're going to be diving into that and seeing the messages that are coming forward as well as our cards for the week. But, Friday, the big event was that Mercury stationed direct. So Mercury had been in retrograde since August, which was bringing about all of those well-known energies of the trickster when it comes to issues and snafus with electronics, technology, with travel, with communication, with others. others, all sorts of things that may have had us feeling rather stuck or sluggish or feeling like we were moving in circles. And so as I shared last week, this could be something that you're now feeling a little bit of a reprieve on because we now have no inner planets in retrograde. And those are planets that we tend to feel more intensely than the outer planets, of which we still have several retrograde at this time. So now that Mercury has station direct, you may very well be seeing and feeling some ahas coming in, information that was needed that you now can move forward. Along with that, a really beautiful energy we're just moving through over this weekend, September 15th into the 16th. So through yesterday, Saturday, Sun trine Uranus. And that is a very positive alignment. It's one that can really help us to be innovative, to think outside the box, to find a greater sense of freedom. So we're really getting this energy from Uranus about freedom, expansion, maybe feeling a little more confident to do things our own way. And I'm getting go your own way. All of this talk about pathways and coming into alignment, coming home to yourself, go your own way, right? Uranus, we could be feeling that call to urge us to follow a different path or to trust our inner guidance system. How perfect, High Priestess already on the altar for us this week. Uranus is the planet of change. So while this alignment, I always love when our buzzword comes in, can bring changes, expect them to be beneficial ones because Uranus is currently in Taurus and it's active throughout this month as it operates in this Earth Grand Trine configuration. Okay, Grand Trines are highly protective. So we can feel some of that protective energy manifesting through this transit. And in fact, Sun trine Uranus can sometimes be the signature of miracles. So you may have already been enjoying some really beautiful energy streaming in over the last 24 to 48 hours. But wanted to highlight that. I like to talk about the positive along with some of those heavier energies as well. So it's nice to have some of these beautiful transits. And then the other thing to mention, Venus square Uranus, which is actually between September 15th to 30th. So from now through the end of the month, Venus is still in her post-retrograde shadow and is now aligning with Uranus. So your attention may turn to issues that were brewing for you in May, July, okay? So maybe regarding some significant relationship in your life, remember that while Venus was in retrograde, she was really highlighting for us relationships, our relationships with others, with ourselves, with aspects. So things that maybe were coming up for you May through July could be sort of doing a little pass through here again in this energy, or your energy could be moving towards issues that were brewing at that time around money or your feelings of self-worth. So again, those aspects of Venus that highlight for us those things. Venus and Uranus combined can create a volatile signature. And so that can challenge what we thought to be true. Okay, this is something that's been building. I've been sort of talking about this each week, like can't stop, won't stop, like the big collective messages keep coming in. Secrets may be revealed. Situations may prove to be more rocky than anticipated. So, there's big things happening. That's what Uranus brings for us, is big awakenings and illuminations and things that could be happening on the big stage in the macrocosm. And then also, again, within our own little microcosms on our small stages, as above, so below. So this is, again, highlighting that secrets being revealed and situations, coming to light. We also could be feeling the desire to do something radical. This is an energy of the rebel, the energy of freedom, and really going for something. So there could be some of that coming in for you during this time. But we always want to give ourselves permission to lead with our heart. So checking in with any impulses so that we can sort of balance out head, heart, gut, and have that alignment as we move through these energies. Also, again, Venus square Uranus can sometimes bring sudden changes to the relationships in our lives. And, I can't stress that enough. I'm seeing that come up for so many of us about sudden changes and shifts in relationships. Keeping in mind, all of our relationships are all acting as mirrors, projecting and reflecting. We are all serving each other on our fool's journeys, acting out different things that we need at soul level, that we desire at soul level, that we came here to experience in order to learn, grow, heal, and expand as a soul. So whatever crops up relationship-wise, really feeling that we recognize that this is all happening to better continually get us more aligned with these pathways that are taking us in a forward-moving direction. So then, of course, we end our week, and it is just before the equinox and Libra season. So Virgo season's winding down, the energy of, getting things into order and structure, and maybe even a little perfectionism has reared its head as you have been moving through this time period, kind of wanting to do things just so, or going over things. I know that has been the case for me and several people I've talked to. Libra's coming in with those balanced scales, bringing in some fresh air energy along with the changing of the seasons. So that's coming in Saturday. And again, like I said, I forgot to hold up a little sneak peek of the spread. So I will give you a look at the Autumn Equinox spread that I teased, and I will be sharing more about that this week. But for now, let's dive into our Monday through Friday recaps. Okay, we are kicking off the week with our card for Monday. I'm going to share the special oracle card at the end. I think it'll be cool to see how that ties up all of the tarot messages that are coming through. So we're going to start with this Major Arcana card, the High Priestess. Card 2 of the Major Arcana, significant energy on our Fool's Journey. It is the card of your wise self, your inner knowing. And so I love that we have the higher self connection energy here as we feel into this aspect of self that we can connect in with. It is so perfect to what I was just talking about, the energies that we are moving through here through the rest of the month, which was the Venus square Uranus, and talking about secrets being revealed, mysteries, things coming to the surface. This is the energy of that. The High Priestess is all about, like I said, her. When you have a sassy higher self, she might say, well, what are you asking me for? You already know. And that's because she is an aspect of you, your higher self, your wise self, the part of you that is connected into all that is, into the collective consciousness. So High Priestess brings a big message because it is about getting clarity on things that may have previously been unknown to you or hidden or unclear, or in some way secrets and mysteries being revealed. That's a big part of the energy that she carries. But as I feel this little theme here with these pathways and this map energy of coming home to ourselves, to what's most authentic and aligned for us, this is a great card to be kicking us off on that journey, because it really asks us to connect in with our wise self when we're looking for an answer, to really trust and feel into our instincts and what we are feeling as far as, I'm going to say, whether something passes the sniff test, okay? So things that come up being revealed, or statements that are claimed, or things that come up and cross your path that don't quite pass the sniff test, the smell test, right? The energy of something, again, that trickster energy has sort of been lingering when it comes to things that are coming out that may be meant to confuse or disrupt, or in some way, what I love about this card, and I'll share my little story, the spider, okay? And so when I was beginning my journey with Archangel Metatron, one of my main guides, and the beautiful path of Metatron color healing, which is one of the things that I use in my loving services that I bring forward, I was being attuned to his energy as a part of that program, and had a very interesting experience with a real live spider. I was just getting ready for my meditation, and I just thought to look over my shoulder. I was sitting on the couch. It wasn't even, I wasn't outdoors or anything. And there was an orange spider just over my right shoulder. And I write about this in a blog post I have on my website, all of the spiritual breadcrumbs that came through over both the level 1 and 2 of my studies. And there was the spider just kept coming up. If it wasn't a live spider, and I have another very interesting story of a real spider, crawling across my mirror just after I repeated the attunement. I mean, beautiful, magical things that you just can't make up. But when I kept getting the spider, it was like, Metatron, what is the message about the spider, And in my looking up and researching the spiritual significance of the spider, I was with my little one, my youngest at the time, and she was only 3, and we were looking in the books, and she loves to look at the cards with me, and together we began singing the Itsy Bitsy Spider. And as we were singing the Itsy Bitsy Spider, the lyrics being, climbed up the water spout, down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain, and the itsy bitsy spider climbed up the spout again, right? And so this message came through to me about this idea of try again, all of the work, the energy, the effort that could have gone into climbing a particular ladder, a particular pathway, only to be washed out and having to dry out and begin again, right? And so through that came this message from Metatron. I heard so clearly about this choice that we have in our lives, as the spider energy says, to be the architect of our own destiny or get caught up in the sticky web. Okay. And so this is what I'm talking about, is this energy of discernment and tapping into our own inner knowing and our intuition about, are we going to get caught up in the sticky web, or are we the architect of the web that we are weaving, the magic that we are weaving, the light that we are weaving in our lives? So that's a big message. But I mean, like I said, this is a very powerful card, and we have 2 major arcana cards on the altar this week, and one of them is a repeat, coming around again, moving position. So again, significant messages coming in, and that certainly is aligned with these planetary aspects and energies that we are tapping into, of big things, big things being illuminated, awakenings, and revealed. So very interesting to see how we continue to move through as we go. But that is the beautiful energy of the High Priestess coming in to kick us off. So now let's take a look at Tuesday for our potential block or challenge. Okay, Tuesday is bringing in our potential block or challenge, and a reminder that we got 3 major arcana cards this week. This is the Wheel of Fortune. Absolutely a very powerful energy that comes in here on the Fool's Journey. It is card 10, just about middle way through the Fool's Journey of the 21 major arcana. This is the Wheel of Fortune, and it's coming up as our potential block or challenge this week. It is typically a card of fortuitous, speaking to the wheel turns, right? And this can be, and I always see it as a wheel within a wheel within a wheel, because we have the wheel of the collective, we have the cosmic wheel, and it goes all the way down to, again, the little stages, right? And they're all turning like these gears, and we're in this very potent week because the wheel is about to turn. We are moving into spring or summer, spring or fall, autumn rather, wherever we are in the world. The equinox. And so this energy of moving from one season to the next, the wheel turns. But there's a story here because this amazing deck covers the Raven's dreamscape, you know, moving through the beautiful tarot with a dream energy of the Raven with a story. And so this one is talking about this idea of planting seeds. And so it goes on to talk about this rabbit in the dream. It's a giant white rabbit that the Raven sees in its dream. And it's sort of, you know, moving its paws in this circular motion. And with each wheel rotation initiated, it's where seeds are gently falling onto the fertile ground. And with the touch of the rabbit's paw, the seeds sprout and mature through various stages and eventually transformed into bountiful fruits. And then the fruits decayed, giving way to new seeds, which were symbolizing this cyclical dance of life and death. So again, the wheel turns, the seeds are planted, there is a period of darkness, there is a period of inactivity, and then there is fruitful, bountiful harvest, you know, and then there is death and decay again, and the wheel turns. So it's really beautiful. It's coming up as a potential block or challenge this week. Well, one aspect of the wheel does speak to karma, you know, the karmic wheel, and this reminder that our actions have consequences, and it serves as a reminder that good deeds will lead to good outcomes and vice versa. Now, again, as far as that, it's understanding. We're talking about these different paths that we're on, and often we say, you know, there are no mistakes, right? It's only information gathering. We choose a path, and whatever path we find ourselves on, no regrets, because there's an aspect of, at soul level, a particular path, a decision, a choice was made that, of course, in turn has consequences of any manner, you know, good, bad, indifferent, neutral, amazing, you know, catastrophic, whatever. It is the energy of following through whatever those consequences are to those steps we take along the wheel. So there's one highlight there as far as maybe struggling with making decisions or choosing to take a step onto a pathway, you know, maybe kind of mulling over potential consequences or, you know, anything in the way of either experiencing consequences of previous decisions or being at a precipice of making a decision and sort of grappling with that is something that could come up. Also, in case we needed yet another card to talk about this, it also speaks to uncertainty and unexpected events. So the Wheel of Fortune might suggest unexpected events or changes, often reminding us that life is full of unpredictability and one must learn to navigate these circumstances. Moving and choosing, adaptability, flexibility, being nimble, right? Being able to bob and weave is what I'm saying. I've been getting this energy and I'm just feeling this, you know, uncertainty, unpredictability, the wheel turns. So, you know, again, it's just an energy of this is why we do this. This is why we can use the tarot as such a beautiful tool to tap into wisdom, guidance, insight into, so we have an understanding and make our informed, empowered choices accordingly. So it really is highlighting, you know, there's movement, there is change, there is a turning of the wheel, and with that will inevitably come all that comes behind that initiation. So feeling that for sure this week leading up to the equinox. Let's go ahead and take a look at Wednesday for our midweek blessing. Okay, Wednesday comes in with our midweek blessing under the heading of, again, you can't make it up. This stuff that you can't make up. So I was brought back into my Metatron color healing studies to share with you about the spider. Now, as I look at this Three of Pentacles, I see a bird that I never knew ever until I started my journey with Metatron. It is a flicker. A flicker is a type of woodpecker, and you may be familiar. I know that there's parts of the world where they might be more common around these parts. They are in North America, in the Northeast where I am. However, I had never seen one in my life until the day that I signed up for level 1. I took the jump, and I have a beautiful story on my on my blog. So I will definitely share these posts. There's 2 blog posts. One is an update, but both of them have links to the original story and photos of the flicker and how it flashed across my backyard. It was like this brilliant flash of this yellow that I saw. And so I'm really feeling that energy as part of our message. So I want to share a little bit about the messages of the flicker. But 3 of Pentacles in general, you know, brings forward the energies of creation and collaboration, of there being, you know, people, places, and things that are resources that have things that can come together and create something amazing. So one of the things I see here, we have the raven, the flicker, and there's actually a little grasshopper down there. If you see the grasshopper right there, okay? I used a cricket in my note because there's no grasshopper emoji. But we have this energy of, what does the raven signify to you? The flicker and the grasshopper. Grasshoppers are considered omens of good fortune, of good luck, of taking the leap, really bringing in like new energy of starting something new, jumping into something new. So there's some really beautiful energy because this is our midweek blessing, you know, starting something new or taking a leap, maybe a leap of faith, you know, bringing in these 2 powerful energies that started off the week with the High Priestess and the Wheel of Fortune. The wheel turns in a fortuitous way where I am making my wise decision to go for it in some way, some new path. Now, also ravens, and we have double 5 energy here to close out the week. The number 5 for me, crows, ravens bring in change, the energy of change, of transformation. And of course that it goes into freedom, as I've been saying, expansion. Also 5 brings in challenge and sometimes chaos, and also the rebel. You know, this is all Uranus energy as well, like this energy of being the rebel, of freedom, of shaking things up, of change. So this is a midweek blessing coming in. So like I said, I'm following my spiritual breadcrumbs to the flicker, where, as I have over on my blog post I'll drop the link here at the end of our recaps, some of the things that I channeled and found in my research of wanting to know more about what this spirit animal or this totem animal was bringing forward for me on my path. Some of the overarching messages, a woodpecker, a new rhythm is coming your way. So just like all woodpeckers, flickers are master communicators. They peck out a beat, which sounds like tribal drums in the trees. So there's this energy of not being shy about making a ruckus, stirring things up, rattling some things, right? Creating a buzz. So there's this energy about playing your happy music loud and long. Flickers get their name from the color of their wings. The undersides of their feathers are this blazing yellow and red. I'm saying, if you've never seen one, it's quite a sight because they're rather, you know, neutral in color as they are, but when they spread their wings, it's almost like a phoenix-like. I mean, it's beautiful. And this is what I saw at my bird feeder. It was remarkable so many years ago. So I just love that this is coming up, which can appear like flickering flames of fire, a flash, okay? So this could be, this week, midweek blessing, a flash of awareness, inspiration, an answer becoming clear to you, a message coming through to you, things that are becoming just really feeling like this connection where there's just this flick of a spark that lights a big fire, you know, that type of energy in a very positive way. Again, there's connection into the chakras. Light workers may suggest that the red color of the flicker's head has a pigment similar to that that is associated with the root chakra. Stamina, creativity, deep-rooted passion. Also, the black crescent on its head is similar to the first sliver of the new moon. So, of course, we're just coming through that new moon in Virgo, offering hope, sensitivity, and a fresh cycle. When Flicker spirit animal flies into your existence, be ready for a bit of fire in your life. Flicker will make a distinction between their different messages that they carry and that they reveal. So its true intent in its interactions with you become clear. Now, the other thing that I thought was really cool that I didn't know until yet another massive loaf of a spiritual bread crumb came across was when I was about to do my final case study so that I could submit all of my work and hopefully be qualified, and was, thankfully, Metatron color healing practitioner. And a flicker walked around on my walkway. I saw it out the big picture window as I was starting my last case study. Again, this is all in my blog post. And that's when I found out that they actually dig in the mud, that they are known for getting into the dirt, and not just, you know, a woodpecker in the trees, but digging in the dirt. So this spoke to, again, using our feet, stand our ground, weather a storm. There was all these beautiful connections about them. They also have 2 toes in the front and 2 toes in the back of their foot. So it was about perfect balance, getting grounded, and so much more. But definitely bringing through help with communication, clarity of thought, speech, and written words, and also your independence and novelty. What is uniquely you? So all of that to say, midweek blessing, collaborations, connections with others is all of these unique gifts that we each have to bring forward and to express in such a unique way. Paying attention to nature. Here we have, like I said, there's several symbols here, not just the three that I pointed out. I see fireflies and other aspects coming up on this card that are all things that we can tap into. What do those things say to you? Use those things as the little clues, the hints, the breadcrumbs that connect in with your higher knowing. And what does that say to you? It's kind of fun. It's sort of like following all these little breadcrumb clues to getting these messages that come through in a flash. So have fun with that. And if you do check out my blog post, I'd love to hear your thoughts because, you know, it's crazy, the antics, the things that happen, but it's fun. And I'm so excited it's coming up because it's been a while. And I think it's really neat that that's coming around again. So maybe something to feel into, as I do have a number of color healing specials this month to share too. So maybe there's a little wink nod there from Metatron, but we shall see. Let's take a look at this guy coming back again this week for how we are growing. Okay, Thursday is bringing back a familiar face that we just had last week in our Tuesday blocker challenge position. It is the Hierophant, and it came forward in this beautiful, striking card with the wise elder wolf and those zealous young wolves that he was trying to teach, to impart wisdom to, the spiritual guru, the energy of the teacher, the energy of being the mentor and the mentee. But there's so many different layers to this card because it is a traditional card in the tarot that does speak to systems and institutions and tradition in the way of government, religion, structures, and so much more. And so I lost count of how many times this card came forward, as I shared during the card pull, before this card came up again this week as now, how are we growing? Over here, it was a blocker challenge to say, you know, how might it show up for us in the most basic of ways? We talked a lot about people going back to school. So whether it's children or adults that are continuing education or taking on some new study or skill or something that they are new at, that there's an energy of either being a teacher or a student, and also a reminder to remain teachable no matter where we are in our path. Oftentimes you see the Hierophant with the staircase, you know, the energy of ascension and climbing the stairway, you know, and this idea of, you know, lessons that we have learned and remaining understanding, open, compassionate, patient with those zealous wolves who perhaps haven't learned particular lessons that you have already mastered. There's the beautiful energy of the key here, you know, and this energy of wisdom and garnering wisdom through time, through experience. And, you know, on one hand can be a degree of frustration with those who are in a different place on the staircase of ascension, lessons that they have yet to master that perhaps you have, and being in a position to be a lighthouse or an example of how you can emanate those lessons to others with a degree of passion, compassion, and patience and understanding. Also, again, remembering to remain teachable and open to those things that you just don't know, lessons that you simply haven't learned yet, or things that you were taught or that you understood to be that might be coming into question, that a light may be shown upon. I'm getting a little bit of old dog and new tricks, you know, with these wolves here, this energy of new lessons, new understandings through old systems, old paradigms, old structures that are very familiar, that were always understood to just be the way it is, the way it always has been in our life, rigidity around that, and invitations to open up to new pathways, again, new pathways. And I'm really curious to see what the Enchanted map card Home has to tell us, because there's so much going on that beautiful card too. We're going to look at that in just a few moments, of coming home to ourselves, but also creating new establishments, new home, new understandings. So there's this big messages that come through with the Hierophant. But then the other part is like, and a couple of people who I connected with last week who they themselves are in school or in some way learning something new or embarking on something new. And there was that reminder of what it is to be the student, what it is to be in a class as well. And we're all here in Earth's classroom. We're all students, right? We're all here on our fool's journey. And we're having this 3D physical experience here. And there's a lot that goes into that, right? It's like perpetual high school, those days we say we maybe never want to go back to, or people who would love to go back. I don't know, me not so much, but the energy of being in school, right? And being schooled, and it bringing up even questions for people of, am I enough? You know, am I good enough to hack it, you know, in this class amongst these peers or classmates, you know? And so, so many different ways that this card showed up last week as a block or a challenge, but there's so much growth already just in moving through that energy that it now comes up here for us collectively, how we are growing through the learning. And again, being adaptable, being teachable, being open, you know, stepping into that place of holding compassion and patience and awareness for those who have not yet brought forward perhaps lessons that you have, and how important it is for us to, if you consider yourself to be a light weaver or a way shower, what does that look like? What does that sound like? You know, you have a message to share, you have a lesson to impart. How are you going to express it? Because I personally, if I'm talking to my children and I want to teach them something, no matter how frustrating or irksome or whatever, you know, however, what I'm saying on the inside, it's about delivering that message in a way that they will receive. If I come out like a, you know, rabid wolf, you know, pouncing all over everything, then I might lose my class, right? That may not get the message across. So there's so much there to reflect upon. And I just personally always feel that if you are here and you're tuning in, that you are likely on the end of being on this path and understanding these messages in such a way that you likely find yourself in the opportunity of being a teacher, of being a way shower. But also, again, we're always learning, we're always growing, we're always evolving. And those lessons that we may have already brought forward, there could be something new to learn, something that might actually bring that down to its knees, crumbling down these old beliefs and old understandings. So there's so much, like I said, can't get around it. When you get 3 out of 5 cards as major arcana, big, and you've got Uranus so active, big stuff. You know, I'm just here. I'm just the messenger. But this is beautiful energy because we're growing. We are growing into it. We are expanding. And that is also, again, this is card 5. And you will see Friday also wrapping up the week with the energy of the number 5, expansion, change. But there is a degree of volatility. There's a degree of challenge. There's a degree of rebelliousness. There's a degree of, you know, freedom seeking. So, you know, expanding into that and treading through that from the highest perspective, from accessing our highest self in order to navigate through some of the more challenging energies that we have. So we're going to go ahead and see how we wrap it up for the week with Friday, and then we'll get into our oracle card. So let's take a look. Okay, Friday brings in the second 5 energy with the 5 of Wands. Okay, see what's happening here? This is the poop stirring card, right? This is the card of conflicts, arguments, stirring things around, lower vibrational energies, competition. The wands are the fire element. And so there is an aspect of, you know, where we can be positively motivated through competition, healthy competition, or, you know, being, again, we have also a card here as our midweek blessing of collaboration and coming together where we all have something unique to bring to the table. But this energy is bringing in that futile stirring around of lower vibrational energies. So I'm going to actually share with us the Raven's Dream here because I think that's going to help really bring through these messages. And it's getting ready to rain here, so it's a little dark. I'm going to put my glasses on already today. And we have the 5 of Wands here speaking to the Raven's Dream. So the raven dreamt of being at the beach, joined by 4 unfamiliar raven companions. It wasn't long before their attention collectively riveted to a singular commanding presence, a giant crab scuttling defiantly across the sandy expanse. The sight of the crab sparked a fervor among the group, igniting their competitive spirits. No longer were they merely companions sharing the beach, but adversaries locked in an intense contest. The crab, an enticing prize in their eyes, became the focal point of their rivalry, transforming their tranquil gathering into a dynamic battlefield. Feathers ruffled in the tension, wings spread in assertive displays, and squawks of challenge echoed across the beach. The dream became a stage set for an intricate dance of ambition and competition, each bird vying to claim the grand prize, the majestic, delectable crab. So this brings in the energy of conflict, right? Conflict, disagreement or clash of ideas or interests. It might be an internal conflict where you're battling with yourself, or it could refer to an external conflict, perhaps a disagreement or rivalry with others. Competition. This card might appear when you're facing competition, possibly in your professional life. This competition might be friendly or more intense, but it usually signals that you're being challenged or tested. Again, challenge, challenge. You hear that? That's the energy of the number 5, challenge. It brings in tension. The energy of the 5 of Wands often indicates a time of tension or stress. This could be due to a conflict or simply a challenging situation. This is causing you to feel strained or pressured. chaos. The Five of Wands can symbolize chaos or confusion with many competing forces at play. This might be a time when things feel like they need to be more organized. Growth through challenge. Despite the challenging energy of the Five of Wands, it's also a card of growth and development. You can learn to adapt and grow stronger by dealing with conflict and competition. So, you know, there's a degree of, as for me, like, not my circus, not my monkeys, right? When it comes to people that are clamoring to be on top, to be right, to be first, to be, you know, the winner, whatever it may be, that could be like something that I don't even want to participate in. There's that. Or there's situations that we find ourselves in the midst of a poo-stirring storm, that it's about, how am I going to navigate this thing, right? This thing that's challenging, that's confusing, that's chaotic, that's, you know, stepping all over, clamoring for, I'm in it. I got it on me. You know, there's no not getting affected by this environment that I'm in. How am I going to navigate it? How am I going to wield my wand, right? Because that brings us back to another C word that came up last week as I do this, the resistance card. If you remember our new moon card, and remember here on Marco Polo, if you missed anything, just scroll back to the little icons down below and you will see the card that has the fist that's holding all of the green. And that was our new moon message that came forward in resistance, which talked about overt and covert ways that there's a degree of things that we can control and things that we can't control, right? These controllables and sneaky energies that can come in as well. So again, what can I control? I have my wand. How am I going to wield my wand, my unique spark, my fire, my passion? And so to the extent that all the things that have been coming in here that speak to those types of more volatile energies, or things that we could get like vibration lowering energies that can pull us into something, again, this is the foresight. This is the understanding of tapping into, okay, this energy exists. It is in my midst. It is here. The wheel is turning. We're moving into new. And with that is going to bring any spectrum of energies that are coming in for me to bob and weave my way through, right? So there's this energy of using our wand in the way that feels most aligned for us, and always holding our free will choice as to how I'm going to use it, right? So I feel like it's actually very positive because it's what I can do. And there's so much beautiful energy here. There's learning and growing in all of it. So it really is about a mindset, a perspective. And as I said, when I was pulling the cards, that assessing card that kept coming up with the moving and choosing, like as if I was in a hot air balloon, rising up out of the muck that's being strewn around, flung around, and I'm seeing the bigger picture, right? I'm stepping into the role of the spiritual guru, right? This wise, and my aspect of my wise self who knows, and stepping into that in order to see the big picture, right? And in order to get clarity on how I will enjoy moving and choosing. So I'm feeling that energy, you know, despite all that can come with the squawking and the clamoring here with the stirring of the poop or the going for the crab. So take that however it may come forward for you, but just keeping these things in mind as you navigate the week. And of course, like I said, if you would like a personal card pull just for you, let me know. And I will send you a private polo here where we will pull a card just for you that goes with these messages. And then I can intuitively feel into, you know, how this might be coming up for you this week. So that is something that you are welcome to do if you're not attending with us live tonight. Also another place where I can pull that card for you. I'm going to put here the link to the live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But again, if you can't attend, no worries. I can pull a card for you right here. But now we're going to take a look at our final oracle message for the week. But before we do that, while I'm here, I will just show you a sneaky peek. And I'm sorry, now it's backwards. I forgot to show it when I was with the camera down. This is the 5-card spread, for example, for the autumn equinox. I will be sharing this week as I build the altar space. I will have both the autumn and spring equinox, these specially chosen spreads available, where you will have a full comprehensive reading just for you that's going to pull in spirit animal, color, crystal energies for you to work with through the season ahead, as well as the 5-card spread with a very special sister deck to this one that I usually use. I'm going to be intuitively choosing all my decks tomorrow when I set up the space, but keep your eyes peeled because this special will be available into, through, and on the other side of the equinoxes coming up here at the end of this week. So let's go ahead and pull up our final card to feel into the messages of home. Okay, so our special message this week coming from the Enchanted map is this beautiful card of home. And right away, as I look into the oracle, it couldn't be more perfect because in fact, it's talking about this mantra: you are comfortable in your own skin. You belong. And how beautiful is that? Because that has just been something that comes up repeatedly. And I almost said it when I was talking about the Hierophant and some of the awarenesses that came in last week. And we've talked about FOMO. I talked about FOFO, the term that I coined, fear of fitting out, not fitting in, right? And so then last week when I was talking to someone as a student, talking about feeling like I don't have enough or, that I don't belong, we came up with phobia, fear of being enough is what we came up with. Fear of being enough. So that brings in this energy of belonging and feeling as if we belong. And so home is bringing us into peace, security, safety, and belonging. And it's all the features that one would want from home being indicated now. So the home card represents an invitation to experience what it's like to be secure in your own skin, to live comfortably no matter what is happening in the world around you. Wow. It is a time for opening your eyes to your tribe of like-minded people or one special person who makes you feel like you've come home. Home is love, and love is all around you now. Whatever your inquiry, you are where you're meant to be and will reap great benefits by staying on this path, regardless of where it leads. Okay, goosebumps, right? This is what I was saying. Pathways of alignment. And this month, which by the way, this is card 27 and 2 plus 7 is 9. So this is yet another card that brings through the energy of 9, this 9th month. And as I was talking last week about the 9/9 portal that we had last weekend, the energies of culmination and graduation, again, of cycles ending and new cycles beginning. And here we're invited to come home to ourself, our most authentic self, and knowing that we belong. And again, here, think of that wheel as a potential block or challenge. The decisions, the choices we make, the paths we take, all have consequences. I feel like that word gets a heavy rap because it's like a consequence sounds like a punishment or, the bad thing that happens after I make a mistake. That's not what we mean here, right? A consequence in its most neutral is just the cause and effect of a thing. I take a trip and it leads me somewhere. Consequentially, I end up somewhere on the other end, So there's this beautiful energy of recognizing staying on this path, regardless of where it leads, if you are feeling drawn to go there. Home will always be with you. It is where the heart is. Now, if you're feeling challenged to feel at home in your own skin, if you're feeling challenged that you belong, right? That you feel this sense of belonging or that you feel like like-minded people or tribes surround you, here is a message there. If you don't feel at home, it's time to do a thorough and fearless inventory. What are you hiding from? Are you afraid of being yourself? Do you feel that you don't belong where you are? What if you chose another path? Does your understanding of home perhaps dictate that such a place must be unsafe, unstable, or unfulfilling? Again, Hierophant, right? The lessons that you have learned through your experiences and through the definition of home or belonging that you have been taught in the current energies, in the current system, in the environment, in the structures through which you came to know what that was, is that an understanding that perhaps doesn't bring forward feelings of safety, stability, or fulfillment, right? You see how that's positioned there. It's time to love yourself and create a new sense of safety and security within. You might have chosen a situation that is familiar and led you back to the original source of your pain. No matter, because this is an important and powerful invitation to a new you. Say no to the pain of the past. Say no to the voice of your inner critic. No to those who want to dim your light to make themselves brighter. Five of Wands. Choose a new home. Take refuge in knowing that beauty and a true sense of belonging lie ahead. Wow. I mean, I just have such goosebumps because I know how this energy has been presenting itself for so many of us in so many different ways. So this just really feels full circle. It feels very validating of the energies that we've been experiencing, because some of them may not be the most pleasant. They can be heavy. They can be challenging. They can be downright, confusing. And what is this coming up for? And all that energy. But yet there is this clearing coming into knowing about coming home. And this card is just gorgeous. If you want, you can actually, when you touch the picture, I believe it does let you kind of scroll in or, expand the picture. But if you also have taken advantage of the 2 months of plus features that I gift you, and I'll put that link here again in case you don't have it, you should be able to save this picture to your device. So you can actually just hold down the thumbnail and it'll save this card, and you can really get into it, because I'm looking at it here and it's beautiful. I see fairy, I see a fox, there's the clock, there's a beautiful sign that says welcome to your life. There's a wise owl and so much more. So there's so many layers of symbols here. Again, let the breadcrumbs speak to you this week. Nature's really making itself known, especially at this turning of the wheel and this time that we step into this new season ahead. So really beautiful messages this week. That is our special oracle message. So as you take in these messages throughout the week, feel free to revisit. I always love to hear from you, your resonances and how it might show up for you. Again, please let me know if you'd like a personal card pull for this week, and I will follow up here with some of the little housekeeping items I mentioned, and we will talk soon. Sending you lots of love and many blessings.